rolling wings level.
Good. A nice rollout. Alright, so now you're going to have the whole echelon behind you. So, get in position and stay there.
Yeah.
Be smooth. Step down just a tad and move forward just a tad. There you go. Move forward.
Left echelon. Rolling and
Power up, not back.
A little more gentle, please.
sure. Not sure I can do much more gentle on that.
The spinner right on the
Bank angle
horizon.
is pretty aggressive.
Okay, so you want a different bank angle, not gentle in, gentle out. That I can do.
Roll out.
Rolling out.
Throttle back. There you go. He flies a little too aggressively for speed. It's difficult in an RV-4, I think.
Yeah.
They're swirly as hell, but he's just rolling in a little aggressively for an echelon.
Two Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4.
Before everybody checks in, make sure you do a good cockpit check, push fuel tank if you need to.
Yeah, we're good. Hey, two's in.
Four's in.
So he floated that turn a little bit more than the other guy did.
Yeah.
So you just have to match the float. So for the start, you need to be up on altitude to start with. 122, so you could get out on bearing line. It was a 4-second break, so you're definitely inside the turn circle. You can be aggressive in getting out on bearing line. A little more.
120, 2800.
You're at 127. I'd say that's perfect. Keep pushing in. You're on bearing line. I can still see, so you're fine. Pushing in a tad bit sucked. Very nice. Very nice. Perfect. Good job.
Hey, within a 180.
You didn't stagnate at all. You had great speed. You were plus 7 knots. And now that was only a 4-second break, so it's going to be quicker. But still,
that makes sense, yeah.
Right, because you're closer.
Yeah.
But even with that, that was much better. You didn't stagnate. Your bearing line was quite good. You were only slightly sucked. I called it out just to calibrate your eyes. But honestly, there was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't have to make as aggressive corrections coming in either.
Kind of locked in on bearing line pretty well. And the reason for that, by the way, is on a 4-second break, you're closer, so you have fuselage alignment better. So you're not fighting fuselage alignment.
That makes sense.
So the 4-second break, and even more so the 3-second break, it's easier.
Left turn.
Because you don't have the really bad fuselage alignment issues. Once you start rejoining in dash 3 and dash 4, you'll see that it's even worse out there.
Yeah,
fuselage alignment issues.
Yeah, because you just are farther back.
I would just peek over and make sure that Phil's backing out. Give him a big head nod. Plenty of room. Yeah, your cross-unders have been good today. Real good.
Yeah, I think one thing that really helps is just like taking a second at each corner.
Yep.
Before like going into
and
the
instructors
next thing.
love it for sure.
Yeah.
That tells me that you've got total control.
Yeah, you're just slowing the whole thing down.
Second. Big head nod. Pass it on.
1 Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi.
He's floating it, so you can just match that. That way you arrive right at his 6. I like your speed.
Susan.
Yeah, good speed. So we're real close because it was a 4 seconds, so you can actually get out on bearing line just a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
Like right now you can start. Yeah.
Please indicating 125.
Alright, so anticipate the bearing line.
How is it?
Don't go acute. Don't go acute. There you go. See how we went a little acute there?
Yep. Still are
You're good now. Get it back in, you're fine. It corrects really quickly. You see that?
Yeah.
I think 126. Keep pushing. Yeah, nice. That was 180 degrees or less.
Yeah. Not quite as good as the other one, but...
Well, you explored the bearing line.
Yeah.
And what you saw was I was trying to get you to take it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And what, 2 seconds later we went acute?
Yeah.
And when you corrected for it, I'm like, a little too much. And 3 seconds later, we were sucked.
Yeah.
You're going to develop that over time.
Yeah, just that prediction.
Overall, your bearing line control has been quite good. So don't worry about that. You're already recognizing bearing line quite well. But you could see with that shorter break interval, you popped out on bearing line quick. It was great.
Yeah.
And you just didn't take that angle of bank out. Maybe a second sooner and it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's Coast Guard or my guys, but we just did an intercept down here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I didn't mean for you to look. I just meant I'm telling you, below us. I don't know if it was my interceptors or if it was the Coast Guard. cross them under, so go ahead and push up on bearing line. You can see a lot of the right stabilizers, so you know we're a little too far out.
Yep. I feel like with the 4, it's really hard to hide the whole stabilizer, though. Like, that feels like too close.
That's good right there. That's fine. We've probably got a good 5 or 6 feet of wingtip separation, so you're fine.
It just feels way closer with the 4, I guess.
Oh, does it? Yeah. Looks good to me. That looks good right there to me.
Yeah, this feels good.
Okay.
Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi.
That was in.
Very nice.
It looks like you need to pull a little bit more G to stay in line. You're ending up a lot further back than 2 and 4. Brandon, what would you like to see, a left or a right?
Either one, doesn't matter.
To the right it is.
Go ahead and jump out there. We're real close because you cheated a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can pop out on bearing line. And it happens faster when we're close. Keep it going. There you go. I can see just fine, so you can stay up there. You're on bearing line. Perfect. Perfect. Drive it in. Perfect. More power, more angle of bank. Good. Now you're achieving fuselage alignment. So now you're just pushing it on bearing line.
Yeah.
Nice. Once you get fuselage alignment, you're just pushing in.
Yeah.
That was great. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, once you get fuselage alignment too, it's like a lot more comfortable to push in.
Yep.
Like, because you're just using power to bring it in.
Yep. And you have the power.
Yeah, as opposed to like when you're coming in, you're like, it feels like you're gonna like T-bone them almost.
That's right. And that's going to be worse when you're in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So I think you're ready to start seeing that, but that's when you're really sort of getting on bearing line and leveling your wings and driving in.
Yeah.
And you're kind of playing with bearing line.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you can't turn to bearing line right off the bat. You have to drive into the turn circle before you turn.
Makes sense.
And all the while you're managing all that, you have to watch 3 and 2 to make sure you don't crowd them.
Yeah, to give them space to get in.
And if they bone it up, you've got to know what to do. If they stagnate, you're going to have to go sucked.
Yeah.
So that you don't pressure them too much. So right now, you've got the easiest geometry, and you're only worried about yourself.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's all going to change. You start running 3 and 4.
Looking forward to it. Sounds fun.
Dash 3 lead can do one more before we head back.
But you manage the bearing line on that one quite well. But again, with fuselage alignment, it's a little bit easier, but
yeah.
With that said, you still manage the bearing line quite well. More nose to tail, just a tad. That's too close. There you go, that's good. It's just a couple of feet, but
yeah. Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi. Susan.
Three's in. Four's in. Alright, go ahead and give me a good quick ops check. Make sure your fuel tank's good. Just last three join, and then we'll head back to the RTB after this. So make sure you're good. Leads 2.5 plus all grain.
2's 2.5 plus all grain.
3's 1.5 all green. 4 is 2 plus all green.
You can. You're so close. You can just start getting out there. You're fine. Don't power back. You're already down to 120. You needed that power. There you go.
I have the traffic in front of me at my 1 o'clock.
Cute. There you go. Good correction. Just turn into him. Turn into him, and that'll help you with being acute. There you go. You went acute and then made it worse by turning it away from him.
Oh, yeah.
If you go acute, you relax the angle of bank.
Okay. That's a little counterintuitive.
It is.
It's like,
that's right.
you feel acute and you're like, I'm going to hit him. So I want to turn away from him.
Phil did that a lot early on. He's completely cured that. He's doing great now. But early on, he would get acute and then turn more. And I'm like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
So right then,
that just totally makes it worse.
When you got acute, if you'd have just pulled about 5 or 10 degrees angle of bank out, you would have slid right into position.
Okay.
So I'm glad you saw that, actually. That's
no, I'm actually really glad that happened.
So you wrapped it up only about 3 or 4 degrees maybe, but you could see it made it worse.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like I did it and I was immediately like, this is not working.
I'm glad you saw that. That's a good learning point.
Yeah, 100%.
The first time I flew with another guy, he immediately just went, whoop. I'm like, whoa, I've got the controls. I wasn't expecting it because he'd been in training for a while.
Yeah.
I wasn't, not Phil, this is a different guy. I didn't expect him to do that. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you new to this?
I feel like you almost have to show people that because it's your reaction is to turn away from them.
Wow. Good anticipation on the throttle. You could see it was a little much, but that's okay. You still, I still like the anticipation.
Yeah, it's just figuring out exactly how much you anticipate.
But just anticipate, and then you can make adjustments.
Yeah, it's better than...
But if you roll in and then make adjustments, it's too late.
Yeah. That's him.
Yeah, he wagged you out, yeah.
And that's 3 Bravo 1.
I'm going to jump off and get Ada, I'll be back. And 4 Bravo is flat.
It's funny how low down she is in the second seat there.
Yeah.
She's just like tucked away back there.
I got information golf. Winds are variable at 4. Altimeter is 30.03.
Since you were acute, you could just slide right into position.
Yeah, I forgot to push you.